on a 6 to 7 day push from North Dakota, Grand Forks, where we were visiting friends, to Charlotte, North Carolina, where my family is. And what we've done in this particular stretch is stayed at Harvest Hosts every night, which has been, there's been good ones and bad ones. Well, not bad ones, none of them are bad, but better ones, I guess you could say.
Yeah, some are more scenic than others, some are more functional than others.
Yeah.
Well, we're here at Sleepy Creek Vineyards. Where at? Illinois somewhere?
Yeah, in Illinois. Sleepy Creek Vineyards, Illinois.
Yeah.
And it's a gorgeous property, not too far off the interstate, maybe what, 10 minutes?
Yeah, give it that, give or take.
Yeah, and it's clearly a wedding venue. We've got this huge building here, and yeah, it's gorgeous.
Yeah, so we read this in the reviews, which is good because the RV GPS apps tend to route you around the town of Oakwood.
Yeah.
I think it's called.
Yeah.
Because right when you come into Oakwood, it says 8-ton limit on side streets. It says it right on the main street.
Yeah.
It doesn't say anything about the main street, and there's clearly trucks on it.
Yeah.
But for some reason, that got punched into the metadata for apps, for maps.
Like all the streets got put in or something. But the main street is fine to drive on.
Yeah.
And we did, and yeah, it was fine. It's a nice wide open street. There's no problems with it, and
yeah,
I can't see why there would be a weight limit either. So
yeah, neither.
Anyway. Yeah, so we just ignore those directions, as a helpful reviewer on Harvest Host had already warned us about, so we knew that this was potentially an issue, so we just ignored that and came right in, and it was fine.
Yep.
Yep.
They do weddings and events and stuff here, and we're passing by a huge hall that they have for that kind of stuff.
Before there, we went to a place called Common Grounds in Wisconsin. It's basically a big shop that sold, you know, cheeses, all kinds of different things. But they have a huge parking lot. Wasn't super level. I remember the wheels being way off the ground because we were on a side lot where they put the Harvest Hosters. But, you know, it was a good stop for the night. It was relatively quiet, and they had some good stuff, like that 8-year sharp cheddar, which is literally the best thing on the planet. I was a little skeptical about staying at this skydiving center because I'm like, what are we going to do here? It's an airport. But they had people doing this. This guy just took off in this parachute from the parking lot. And they also had an amazing restaurant that was right on the airport side, so you could watch the skydiving teams land, take off, and come in and hit the ground. It was quite a unique experience. So highly recommend going. And these poutine fries, I think they were called, were ridiculous. This winery was absolutely enormous. It was just ridiculously huge. However, the parking area for RVs wasn't all that big. I mean, you could fit a few RVs there, but the grounds were just really huge. We walked just a short distance from the RV. They've got this whole Greek or Roman-looking structure with these columns and stone benches, as you can see there, and it's just a really neat venue for, I'm sure, lots of weddings in the area and other events. They've got a whole tent set up right near the RV. I don't know if that's like a reception area for the wedding, and then this is where the actual wedding happens. But the grounds are really beautiful, and it's a really neat place to go. You can see all the trees around were changing colors too. This was in early October that we were here. So really cool place to go, and the wines weren't that bad either.
Wow, a nice fog on the landscape. Had to get this pre-sunrise.
Yeah, it's gorgeous.
And pre-sunrise is pretty easy on the eastern end of the time zone because it's like legit 8 o'clock.
I know. It's like 7:30 right now.
Just one last note. I know this is a lot of gratuitous drone footage, but this place was super cool, and this time lapse was fun to get to. Just let the drone hang up there, and then I sped it up. Pretty neat place. So it's pouring down rain here in western North Carolina.
Yeah, I think we're in Columbus.
I don't even know where we're at. We're in the land, and you know what I'm talking about, where when you actually dig up soil, it's actually just red garbage. And when it's wet, it's red muddy garbage.
It's clay.
Otherwise known as clay.
Mm-hmm.
And our RV back there in our car. So the approach into this harvest host was totally ridiculous. There just wasn't very good instructions. And the GPS said turn, and we saw vines, so we turned. And took us down a pretty crazy road.
Yep.
The Ford V10 really paid for itself getting out of there because it was slippery, muddy, narrow, rutted with water. Mm-hmm. But we got out, and actually the spot's pretty nice. It's really one of only maybe 2 level spots in this little area right here.
Yeah, let's shift this way because you can see the vines behind us. The vins.
Oh, I see.
Look at the vins.
Yeah, look at the vins. There's the vins.
Oops.
You know, it's funny. It's funny they have numbers on all the rows, so they're really VIN numbers.
Oh.
Is that bad? Is that
Nerd.
We're gonna go do a tasting.
Yeah.
Because after that, we need wine. Oh, hey, how about that light correction? Hey. Bye. I don't know whose trailers these were. This is where I thought we were going when we followed the initial instructions, because it looked like it was leading us out that way, but that is in fact not where we were. And that is the Russian chapel that gives the winery its name.
transmission in neutral. Recirc on for the air. And put off the brake. It starts yelling at you, says transmission not in park. Duh, we don't want it in park. And then turn the engine off. And that's it. Get out, lock the car, and we're good to go.
Also, make sure the windows are up.
Oh yeah.
We haven't done it yet, but we got close.
I had to turn it back on and roll the window up yesterday.
That's right.